Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Type in the comments below.
And how are you, my beautiful?
Me too.
Oh. Yeah, a bug's been running around the house and other
Not
things
me.
besides. I said other things besides. Let's get this party started, Kelly.
I haven't been sick since last Christmas.
Yeah. This mama caught a bug, so.
Last Christmas I was sick. Oh, okay, now.
Very next day you give it away. Anyways, okay.
I actually ended up getting sick for a whole 2 weeks.
Yes, she did. Like her body was not liking her. So we are going to get into it right away. As you can see from the title, it is a Charlie Kirk edition. She's going to be learning stuff as well as you guys at the same time, and you're going to learn what makes our blood roll, what makes our blood boil. Excuse me, ma'am, can you hand me the water, please?
Sorry, I'm doing art.
Yeah, no.
I'm doing art.
Get off my tablet, you're supposed to.
I seen that you have a sketching app on here, so I took the opportunity to start doing art. Because I can't do art for my tablet because I couldn't download the freaking app.
3, 2, 1. Careful. This girl likes burning herself. 3, 2, 1. Homemade creamer. That's where I'm going to get an actual container for. Smell your dairy.
Smells good to me.
Hey, you are amazing. Mix it up.
Wait, who's Kate?
She is an amazing young, woman. She's a mom.
Her?
No. She's a mom that I have found on YouTube. One day I will show some of her videos. But today we are staying on topic. What is our topic today?
Charlie Kirk.
So, why don't we focus, young lady? Put that away. Please and thank you. You heard me. Maybe coffee.
Let me see if that's real quick. Wait, does it automatically save these?
Mm.
Yeah, it is. One switch. No.
No. It doesn't save it, it just keeps the last one. Are you ready?
You want to know when I first found out that you had the sketching app on here?
Just now.
Nope. A few days ago.
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, let me get into it.
Focus, young lady. Focus. Watch your toes.
First legs. Holy crap. Okay.
You ready?
No.
So, today's episode is about Charlie Kirk. The good, the bad, the ugly. What we have seen, what we like, and what we don't like. So here is to Charlie Kirk and his unfathomable.
Fathomable.
No. And his unimaginable belief in God our Holy Father. So here is to Charlie. Cheers.
You didn't fully mix it, so I will finish. Cheers. And cheers.
Yes, it is hot, my darling girl.
Yay! He just waking up now! Sorry. Uncle Josh just woke up. Yeah, Uncle Josh just woke up. So I'm like, morning, Uncle Josh. How's your morning so far? He's like, morning, minion. I'm just waking up.
I hope that's right. Nope, 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 nope. Shit. Cancel, cancel, cancel.
Yay, we already have a light.
Thank you for the light.
2 likes already. Wow. Good morning, everyone, and welcome in. Oh, my poor belly.
Hopefully this is the right one. It is not liking me today, so we're gonna have to do another one. Bear with me.
He's still not on? Wait, oh yeah, he is.
It's a great thing, so we'll talk about that. But we got a lot
Okay.
to talk about tonight.
Day to be
Just because of my
alive.
weird schedule. It's making it harder and harder to start on time. There is no on time. On time is when I start the show. So, but it's always going to be around 10 o'clock Eastern, give or take, whatever time that is. How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday.
Not so much of a happy Tuesday.
Senate committee or something today, tomorrow, whatever. And there's some senators who have some questions. I'm sure they're going to ask about the Epstein files and other shit like that. But there's other stuff going on I want to talk about. It's important to me and to our nation. Namely, me saying no to some things that I don't like the trend, and it's when I use the term woke right, these are the kind of things I'm talking about. So that's foreshadowing. Let's say hi to everybody. First the chat. Of course, Avocados the Alley gets the bell. And spent the last 10 hours laying on the kitchen floor and able to even stand having a vertigo attack. Oh, that sucks, man. I hope you're doing okay. I don't get vertigo attacks, but every once in a while I'll get a leg cramp and no one in the house is here, and I literally have to lay on the floor for maybe 10, 20, 30 minutes max. So I can't imagine doing it for 10 hours. Oh, dude, I hope you're doing okay. Hey, God's blessings be upon you, sir. Glad you're up and at it. So, yeah, good thing you didn't have to pee. Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's handsome. And you're like, oh, it hurts so bad you can't even stand.
Oh, I'm gonna have to have it on my
main floor.
For the sound, yeah. Because otherwise they're gonna hear the other stuff too. Remember?
Anyway, yeah, I know the feeling. When you gotta pee, you're not able
situation you're in is gonna screw you over. You over. Yeah, I wrote that. Anyway, there are other people here besides you, ADs, so let's just say who. Good morning, Louis, Louis, and also Attack Alpaca, Resolute Germ. The Pope is here with an inspirational message. Yes, Pope Tyrannius III, the Blessed Lich, who says, blessing of the sacred dead. He gives us dreams to inspire us. He gives us sad to teach us about happiness. He gives us obstacles to temper us. Remember, steel must be heated and hammered to create.
My legs are sore.
To create. That's the end of the sentence. I'm sorry. I kind of got stuck there. Good morning, Raymond Lewis. Welcome back. I didn't know Ray Lewis watched this show. Ray Lewis, the great linebacker for the Baltimore Colts. No, not Baltimore Colts. What is Baltimore? Baltimore is the Ravens now. I guess it's been a long time since they were the Baltimore Colts. I can't believe I said that. God, dog. And the St. Louis Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams, who are now again the Los Angeles Rams, but they were the St. Louis Rams for a while. You know, it's funny because my wife, the other day, said something about, oh my gosh, I can't wait, Los Angeles Rams, I just never get used to that. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. They were originally the Los Angeles Rams before they moved to St. Louis, before they moved back to Los Angeles, after the St. Louis Cardinals moved to Phoenix. And what was the team that Seattle's expansion franchise, or was that a team that moved and changed their name? I can't remember. But, this is all that good. Anyway. Also, hello to, who else was, oh my gosh, I gotta do this backwards here. Raymond, by the way, welcome. I know you're not that Ray Lewis. Also, Shrews Gospels here. It's Lord Stanhope, Cannibalistic Wizard. Welcome back. Oh, you've been gone for a while. What's up? Mike Savage, Blarg, Blue Eyed Screams, Shrapnel in the house, Midnight. What up, Midnight? How you doing? K-Show, good morning, Kirsten. Lord Stanhope, I said it already, I think. Looking forward to that Cat Patel hearing at 9 a.m. on C-SPAN. Should be interesting to see. Yeah, it's already started, I think, didn't it? Yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern, so it's been going on for an hour or so. Let's see. Mrz-Wild-Wolf, what's up? Green Badger Outdoors, Reaction Puerto Rico. And who else? Boy, there's a lot of people here. Y'all jumped in right away. Spidey Man's back. What up, Spidey? And I think I got that, everybody. So there you go. Oh, it's 9 p.m.? No, isn't that... Okay, hang on a second. Hang on. Hold up. Wait a minute. By the way, I should probably put the old thing over here. Let me see. I didn't even look through the aggregator today. I opened a bunch of Charlie Kirk shit because that's the only thing anything's really talking about. Let's see. Let's look. Let's go YouTube. I'm pretty sure that hearing's going on right now. Hello, Rick Ashbringer. What's up? Cash. That's all I got to put. Cash. Tell it. Should be some live shit going on right now. No? Yeah, here is, let's see. I don't want to open the AP. I'd rather watch it on C-SPAN because, here, let's do this. C-SPAN. Cash Patel, C-SPAN, live hearing. Oh, maybe it's not on C-SPAN. CNBC, PBS. How about PBS? Let's watch a little bit of this, just out of curiosity.
Seems to be motivated.
I'm gonna watch it later.
Religious hatred.
Specifically, sir, we've had 60 anti-Catholic hate crime incidents.
I was kind of hoping I'd have
investigated.
Adam Schiff
Publicly, I
doing
can tell
this,
you we have
but
5 hate crime investigations with anti-Catholic.
no, stop!
Excuse me, in the cities of Kansas City.
I'm gonna mute this second.
Even though I don't want to eat any sugar.
Hate crime legislation. Fuck that noise. I'm sorry. If it's some of that incitement, great. But we're going to talk about hate speech today because I'm kind of pissed off. I'm pissed off at these people acting like leftists. Hello, Darren Root. What up? Anyway, back to this shit.
Churches or other houses of worship.
Senator, you raise an incredibly important point that most people don't look at. I've always said we follow
we don't have
money,
no more bananas.
and whether it's terrorism or attacks based on ideology or attacks on institutions of faith or people of faith, someone's paying for it, and we are reverse tracing those steps. We are not stopping at the perpetrator themselves. We are reverse engineering to hold those accountable in our investigations to who funded them and knowingly funded them, and we will bring the appropriate steps against them with our partners at DOJ.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. We look forward to hearing reports on that progress.
No.
Sorry about that.
Why are you being interrupted?
Let me just ask you
So,
this in the same
apparently-
vein, Director. Since the Dobbs decision, the FBI has advertised $25,000 rewards for information on attacks on abortion clinics. Will the FBI similarly offer rewards for information on attacks of houses of worship?
Yes, when it is appropriate, the rewards are any reward, whether it's an attack on a house of faith.
Okay,
or
I'm bored already. I'll wait
determined
until we
by
have
the FBI,
shush. I'll wait until after. I'm gonna watch this later and just take out some excerpts and we'll talk about it tomorrow because it's hard to watch these hearings just live unless there's some really good questioner. Now, not that who is that? Hawley's not a good questioner, but I always like to hear the opposition party do questions because they're usually they try to with the gotchas, and I'm pretty sure they're going to want to talk about Epstein, which I hope they do. I hope he has some answers. I guarantee he doesn't because they're not going to talk about that. Somehow, look about that Epstein shit too. I'm all over the place. I really hope that the reason they're not putting stuff out there is because they have some investigations and some perp walks to do. That's what should be happening. But who knows? Who knows if that's going to happen? It's very annoying. And look, I don't care who's on that list. And I mean, I don't care who's on that list. Some people need to be prosecuted. So there you go. Wait, I'm not streaming on X. No, I'm not. I know I don't usually stream on X. I did put the notification out though on X. So anyway, all right, let's I think I said hi to everybody that I can find. Let's get into the show because this is definitely not it. I'll still have a link to the C-SPAN Senate hearing, or who's this? PBS, the PBS's version of the hearing, and it'll be in the links today. All right, let's get started because I'm wasting time here. I didn't pick a specific holiday to talk about today, but here's some of the holidays that you can enjoy if you are an American or even not an American, because not all of these are just American holidays. But today is National Choose Your Chocolate Day. I don't know what that means. It's versus National Chocoholics Day versus National Eat Your Chocolate Day. But anyway, enjoy some chocolate. Today is also National Guacamole Day. National Play-Doh Day. Play-Doh. Love me some Play-Doh. My daughter has a good Play-Doh recipe. She makes homemade Play-Doh, I think. Working Parents Day. Well, I'm working as a parent, although the parents aren't. The kids are no longer at home. National Tattoo Story Day. What the hell does that mean? Mexican Independence Day. This is the real Mexican Independence Day. Celebrate Mexican Independence Day with a fiesta. That means a party if you're not familiar with Espanol. And Collect Rocks Day. My wife collects rocks sometimes. We collected rocks from different places we were in Europe, and because some of our friends collect rocks, so we brought some home for them. We were at this one place, well, from the Rock of Gibraltar. Do you know that the Rock of Gibraltar, that big giant thing sticking out of the ground 1,000 feet in the air in Gibraltar, the separate country that's connected to Spain? Did you know that the whole thing is granite? Do you know how many freaking granite countertops you can make out of that thing? Anyway, we brought some granite from there. World Barber Day, World Ozone Day, National Step Family Day, Feast Portland. Until Antifa comes and bonks you on the head. It's still Petru Paksha Day. What the hell? Does this day ever end? Holy shit. Mayflower Day. Mayflower Day honor the brave pilgrims who set sail on a journey of hope, an opportunity that would shape American history forever. And Anne Bradstreet today, the famous poet. There you go. There's the holidays. Enough about that. Mouse is not working again. Come on, Mouse. There we go. All right. And then I often do a celebrate birthday, but today we had breaking news this morning that the great actor, Renee Mayette, by the way, the great actor, Mr. Robert Redford passed away this morning. And so Rest in Peace Legend is trending right now, and lots of stuff about Robert Redford. Robert Redford has died. Here's the variety. Robert Redford has died at 89 years old. The film icon starred in classic movies such as Bush Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, All the President's Men, and won an Oscar for directing Ordinary People, and founded the Sundance Film Institute. I didn't realize he founded Sundance. Yeah, so he's passed away at 89 years old. If you have a favorite Robert Redford movie, drop it in the chat. There's a lot of them in here. I personally thought The Natural was an awesome movie, but I like sports movies. Trying to think. Let's see. There was a list here of a bunch of his best films. He was in All the President's Men. He did Ordinary People. He was great at. I loved The Natural. He wasn't in Dirty Harry. Come on, Baron. That's not even funny. Let's see. But some of the ones that people are talking about, obviously, The Natural was a great movie. Jeremiah Johnson, that has one of the best memes that's being used over and over again on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. In fact, that was my Let's Go meme today. Here's one. Here's Brubaker. I forgot about Brubaker. Sneakers, All Is Lost, Spy Game, Lion for Lambs, The Sting. Oh, that was a good one too. I enjoyed that with him and Jackie Gleason and all those guys. 3 Days of the Condor, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. He was in Winter Soldier. Now I know he was in that last Captain America movie, which was terrible. And by the way, that's not one of his top 10 movies, unless they're talking about box office. I don't think so. Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, classic, and All the President's Men. So rest in peace, Robert Redford. A lot of his films are trending. Let's move on though. Mehdi Hassan is trending. Winter Soldier. Was he in that one too? He played was he the president, Winter Soldier? Yeah, no. Jeremiah Johnson, The Last Castle. The Last Castle. I didn't think about that one. I don't know if I've seen that. Mehdi Hassan is trending, and yesterday we spent the whole day debunking that stupid ADL study, but there's still tons of people who are out there quoting it. And I guess Mehdi Hassan was on a show with Chris Cuomo yesterday. And so he's touting whatever he said on that show. Let's see. He posted this. Let's see what it is. Because, whatever, Mehdi. He's a dickhead, but here we go.
How would you analyze what you're hearing in response to this murder from the left?
From the left?
Yeah.
Just listening to the clips you played from the Trump administration, we're in a very dark moment. It's very macabre.
He didn't ask you that! The people who are out there saying this is great. It's great. And this is great. Charlie Kirk murdered. Yay! Hooray! They're celebrating. But anyway,
that moment right now.
By the way, I may agree with Mehdi Hassan on something here, so you might be shocked, but
To your show, you made a lot of good points. The biggest point I think you've glossed over is the crackdown on free speech. This targeting of people for their views. Charlie Kirk was supposed to be a free speech martyr. Why are the right using his death to crack down on free speech and American rights and go after this amorphous left? J.D. Vance lied today on the Charlie Kirk show. Statistics are clear. That this is a left-wing problem. It's the exact reverse.
That's not what he said, dickhead.
Reverse. You look at the ADL Center.
There it is! There it is! There it is! The ADL studies of extremist-related violence. Like, just violence that had nothing to do with their extremism. This one guy bopped a guy over the head in a car shop because they had a dispute over of the bill, and he killed him. They call it extremist-related violence because he had prison tattoos that said he was part of a white supremacist prison gang. The whole thing is filled with that sort of crap. And I had an argument with Grok yesterday about this, which is funny because Grok is just an AI bot, right? But it was pretty funny because let's fix that. There.
One size bigger.
Grok responded to me going, oh, yeah, I didn't think of that. No shit. I'll talk to you about, I may show that later. Anyway, but I agree with him that this whole stuff that they're talking about, cracking down on speech and hate speech and whatever, let the consequences of these people who say stupid, fucked up shit stand on their own. We don't need to have any government involvement in hate speech. So I'm going to agree with him on that one point.
24 people killed by extremists between 2013 and 2022, 75% of them by the right.
All bullshit. All bullshit. Again, the ones that they call from the right right-wing extremists, have nothing to do with political violence. As we demonstrated yesterday, I could go through all 10 years of the studies that I have of that study that they repeat over and over just so they can make a headline every year, just so they can say, oh, right wings are more dangerous, blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. So anyway, so the fact that he's touting the ADL study, which I bet he's actually read it and knows it's bullshit, but it's a talking point because every news outlet, when the ADL does the press release and sends to all the mainstream media outlets, they all tout the headline. Well, all the extremist murders in this year, all of them, without putting the numbers in the headline. That's the other thing they do. They don't put the numbers in the headline. They put like the percentage little pie graphs and shit. And the headline never says, "Oh, we're talking about 12 incidents in 2022," which only one of them had anything to do with ideology. They don't tell you that part in the headline, but everyone reads that headline and goes, "Oh, yeah, the ADL said that all the extremist violence extremist-related murders were from the extreme right." It's a bullshit headline, and he knows exactly what he's doing because I guarantee you he's read it and knows the study is bullshit.
The University of Maryland study that was done for their terrorism center, which found that from 1948 to 2018, right-wing extremists more likely to carry out violence than left.
Oh, more likely. Oh, really? And also, by the way, their definition of what's extremist is also very biased because they don't consider some stuff that's extremist even when it's clearly something from the left. So let's not, it's amazing. It's just amazing that but again, this is the way you lie with statistics. This is the way you win by doing kind of a statistic propaganda campaign, which the ADL's been doing for the last 10 years. And the University of Maryland study, I'm sure that there's no bias in that one either. Anyway,
extremists. You look at the head of the FBI, who Donald Trump appointed, Chris Wray, who said the number one domestic terror threat in this country comes from religious and racially motivated extremists, specifically white supremacists.
And yet, they can't name the incidents. There are no incidents. There's very few. And if you look, even if you count, say, school events, or like do they look at the political leanings of every single murder that happens? Because the ADL doesn't. They just find the ones that obviously they can find easily. But if let's say there's 5,000 murders in a year, are they going to every single murder to find out the political philosophy of this person, or they just happen to find one? Oh, this one had white supremacist tattoos, so there's one. We can count that one. Because they're extremist-related murders, not extremist philosophical disagreement murders. So, again.
You can keep going. The National Institute for Justice found that the majority of incidents since 1990, violent terroristic acts.
And by the way, the one thing that J.D. Vance said, he said left-wing are much more likely to celebrate political violence. There's plenty of evidence for that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't hear anybody celebrating the violence on January 6th. Celebrating it? No. I don't hear there's a few crackpots on both sides that will celebrate if someone on the right or left dies, but no one but not like this outpouring of celebration for the murder of Charlie Kirk. So again, he's conflating little ADL studies with what J.D. Vance said. That's enough of that. But anyway, that's why Mehdi Hassan's trending. But there is a place here where I agree with him regarding the hate speech thing. We'll get to that later. All right, let's go. I'm going to back up here because I did not say thank you to the people who are sharing the show yet, which includes, well, let's scroll back here. Okay, we're going to start with the Daily Woo. Thank you, Ty Alexander, with the Daily Woo. I'm reposting these as we talk. Resolute Germ with a little Brock Lesnar out there, the Daily Wrestler, just the individual wrestlers. I know who Brock Lesnar is because I live in Minnesota, and everyone in Minnesota knows who Brock Lesnar is because he was amazing NCAA wrestling champ from the University of Minnesota. Rancho in Puerto Rico with a little Crocodile Dundee. Now for a second I thought it was Robert Redford, but it is within the theme of my theme of rugged outdoorsman. So I did catch that at Rancho in Puerto Rico. Also there's Wild-Wolf, Let's Go Happy there, the Daily Kitty, the kitty cat with the sunglasses, how cute. And thank the people who retweeted my tweet. It's Wild-Wolf, Reaction Puerto Rico, Kirsten Shull, K-Shull, Resolute Germ, and Tyler Alexander. Also, Green Badger Outdoors with the flight time. Let's go. Awesome. And that's it. So thanks to people for sharing the show. If you can still share the show or want to sponsor the show, there's ways to do it. You can find it in the chat. Good morning, Selected Boy. Welcome. All right, Mehdi Hassan, we did that one. Who's next? Nick Fuentes is trending because there's a bevy of dickheads on the internet who can't seem to cope with the fact that this Tyler Robson might not have had the same political affiliations or desires as his family. Because, my God, never do kids rebel from the political ideologies of their family. And so there's a bit, for a minute there was a bunch of people who were saying, oh, no, this guy's probably a groiper. Nick Fuentes, alkalite, whatever. And so for a couple days until the governor kind of shit in their Cheerios, the governor from, what's his name? Governor from Utah. This was kind of the kind of thing that people were talking about. They were saying, oh, this is the most spot-on explanation of what happened to disaffected Gen Z boys in America. I mean, yet there's a shitload of Tyler Robinson, USD man, and Emily Yiannopoulos, Nick Fuentes, and Charlie Kirk created a Frankenstein monster that is now out of control, claiming that this guy was a Nick Fuentes groiper type person that killed Charlie Kirk. He hated him from the right. And so somebody says, if Mag wants to know who weaponized Tyler Robinson, it came from their own ignorant, dangerous group, which, first of all, nobody in Mag likes Nick Fuentes. They hate that fucker. But anyway, he claims to be on the right, even though he thinks he is. It wasn't the left, it was warring factions within their own house trying to out-crazy each other. Nick Fuentes says Kirk had money and shows, but he had shooters. Okay, anyway, so the idea, oh my God. For those unclear about the difference between Fuentes and Ben Shapiro, Ben Shapiro doesn't hate anybody. Hates Muslims, hates LGBTQ, hates immigrants, hates women, far-right nationalism. No, that's not. These people are just so cracked out of their mind. Here's the thing, okay? Because a lot of people are saying Charlie Kirk is far right.
No, it's not.
Let's see.
Was
Charlie Kirk doesn't like abortion, okay? That's kind of been part of the Republican platform forever. Charlie Kirk believes in free speech. That's kind of the Republican platform forever. Low taxes, that's the Republican platform. Generally thinks marriage is between a man and a woman, which has always kind of been a Republican thing, although most Republicans this day, and especially MAGA people, don't give a fuck about gay marriage anymore. In fact, a lot of MAGA people are very welcoming of the gay and lesbian people that are within the ranks of conservative politics, because a lot of them come over because the Democrats and left-wingers are so fucking nuts these days. And then, all this stuff that they say that we supposedly hate, They have this fever dream that we hate people. And no, it's just we just disagree with you sometimes, even though we accept you for what you are. We don't really give a shit, but the only way you can dismiss us is by saying, oh, we hate these people. No, we don't. And if you listen to Charlie, look, I was a detractor of Charlie Kirk. You know that I say I'm not a big fan of them, I agree with some, whatever. Over the last few days, though, I've been watching a lot of things that he said and the way people package it, depending if they're on the left and right. A lot of people left package little snippets of quotes that on their own, if that was the only words that came out of his mouth, sound really, really bad. And then I find people on the right saying, that's bullshit. Here's the entire quote, and then you get the full conversation that he was having. You go, oh, in context, that's a reasonable thing, even if you disagree with it. And I'm finding that a lot, Charlie Kirk. In fact, I watched his. He did the debate at Oxford University and over in Charlie, and he was brilliant. Now, did I agree with every single point he made? No, but he wasn't. There was nothing hateful about what he said. And I've been watching a lot of clips from him talking to people at these college campuses. And he's not hateful. In fact, he's very engaging with people who he probably disagrees with. He's very kind, and there's no hate in there was no hate in the guy. And so I've come to respect Charlie Kirk more since he died, because I've actually listened to a lot of stuff he said and got the context of some of the things that I was questioning, going, that sounds terrible. And then I'm like, oh, that's what he was really saying, because I've never heard the whole clip. All I've seen is lefties post clips of him saying stuff, but I didn't always check out what the entire thought was. So yeah. But so the idea, though, that this kid was a Nick Fuentes alkalite has been blown out of the window by the fact that the kid had a live-in boyfriend who was becoming a girlfriend. That probably may have been a bigger motive than anything that the Groypers would put on. Although, Nick is a little bit closeted. Anyway, thank you, Epicot's for being the first sponsor today, which makes you the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Epicot's dropping a small Portland tip jar says, the funniest part about the people saying because his family is conservative, he must also be conservative, is that those are the same people who made a production of telling us how they disown their own entire families for being right-wing. Yes! Yes! That is absolutely right. Those people are clowns. That's, oh my God. I'm going to steal that. In fact, watch this. Watch this. I'm going to steal it right now. Watch. Watch this. You're going to hate me for this, AD, but, oh, did that work? I don't know. Can I cut and paste stuff?
AD, we love you.
Copy. Let's see. Let's go on X. Post.
Sweet burglar.
Oh, it doesn't work. I'll have to do it later. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. That's brilliant. I'm still going to steal it. Hey, I don't tweet, so use it as you see fit. Well, I'm damn well going to. I'm still going to do it right now because I don't type fast enough to put that in a tweet. All right. Let's keep going. So that's why Nick, we know why Cash Patel is trending. He's live right now. Lots of people doing memes on Cash Patel saying, oh, he's the worst FBI director ever. I mean, he's as good as the people who work under him. But a lot of the Democrats are really excited to talk to Cash Patel. We'll talk about that more tomorrow. Fonnie Willis is trending. Now, I know that a lot of people like to call her Fanny. In fact, some people like to call her Big Fanny Willis. But Fonnie Willis is trending because, breaking news, Fonnie Willis fiasco is over. The Georgia Supreme Court has ruled that she's finally and officially off the Fulton Trump RICO case. They are not allowed her to do that. Jeff Clark, who is the, OMB acting OIR administrator for CFPB, whatever the hell that is, former U.S. Department of Justice Double Assistant AG. Anyway, he says, I'm pleased to announce that Fonnie Williams has now been permanently disqualified for prosecuting the indictment that she brought against President Trump, me, and many others. The Georgia Supreme Court denied cert to Fani Willis, who was attempting to get that court to take her case so that she could try to get undisqualified after the Georgia Court of Appeals threw her off the case. The case now moves to the prosecuting attorney's Georgia Council of Georgia. They will decide on a replacement for Willis. Praise the Lord for progress on this case. It never should have been brought in the first place. So that's why she's trending. That's the more breaking news this morning. Also trending, Pam Bondi. Now this is what I wanted to talk about today. This is what I wanted to talk about today. Pam Bondi. Oh my God! Raise your hand if you want Pam Bondi to right side me. No, I don't. Here, I'll do this bulwark because they're some of the anti-Trump crowd, but they posted this. Attorney General Pam Bondi's quote. Well, here, let's just play the quote since she's there. It's only 31 seconds long. Pam Bondi said this, I believe, yesterday on some podcast, and I am not happy about it.
There's free speech, and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle. There's free speech and there's hate speech.
No! No! That's why this is called No! No! This annoys the ever-living shit out of me. But this happened too when, Pam Bondi was in favor of what the red flag laws, which, if you know something's going to happen, great. Hello, Gizmo, the Gargochuan. Welcome. Monko rules. I don't know what that means. You mean like a monkey? Ranting monkey? Welcome. I've never seen your name before, so I'm glad you're here. Anyway,
what?
This pisses me off.
Gizmo the Gargochuan.
And I'm going to agree that the bulwark don't always do that, but they go on to say, hate speech is just a fancy way to complain about mean words. Adults should have better things to worry about. If the issue is incitement or violence, then take extra seconds to articulate that. But let's scrap the Orwellian idea of hate speech. Saying something is hate speech means you are making a thought crime, and that's the First Amendment of our Constitution. It's not there to protect the speech you like. It's there to protect the speech you don't like. And I do not look. Hate speech is a woke left concept, as in oppressor, whatever concept, basically. And I don't want the right adopting it. The vile things said about Charlie Kirk in his death are not. Also, remember my nickname is Monko. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I forgot about that. I do not want, because here's the deal. As soon as you start allowing for prosecutions for hate speech is defined by the person who's offended or prosecuting. And they can say anything the fuck they want is hate speech. You cannot do it. You can't. Cash tell whatever he was saying about hate speech in that stupid clip with Senator Hawley. I'm going to go back and watch it later. No. You cannot make thought a crime. No matter how vile it is.
Because he keeps forgetting.
And So some people reacting to this, just the Bulwarks post. 3-year letterman, my favorite account because he's a parody account. If I hate someone's speech, it is illegal. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. If I hate someone's speech, I want it to be illegal. Even Charlie Kirk's own words. Hate speech does not exist legally in America. There's ugly speech, there's gross speech, there's evil speech, and all of it is protected by the First Amendment. Keep America free. And a lot of people are throwing that quote in her face. And damn well should. We don't need to act like leftists and try to make people's speech illegal. Matt Van Swol, Charlie would have stood for none of what Pam has said here. The government should make no law infringing on freedom of speech to curtail hate speech in any way. None, zero. This is incredibly disappointing to hear. I'm pissed to hear her say that. No. The appeal to, especially after what happened to Charlie, is emotional leverage. No, it's not. No. The tragic event used to pretext to expand state power, implying that speech is to blame for violence rather than individuals who commit violence. The same logic regimes use when they outlaw dissent because it might cause instability. Someone said it in the chat already. That's what's happening in Great Britain. No. I'm going to keep saying that because that's my quote today. Then comes the threat. We will absolutely target you, go after you. The voice of government claiming authority over thoughts and words. Hate speech is never a fixed category. It's always defined by those in power, and it always expands to include. Yeah, I don't want the executive branch to have even a smidgen of power to do what they're talking about right now. And I don't, especially because of the fact that the same factions are not always in power.
That's messed up.
Again, this is one of those things. When one side does it, the next side gets in power and they do it to a little bit heavier extent. And then every time it goes back and forth, it gets done a little more, and then you're in shit. You're in shitville. Thank you, Abkhazia. Another small bullet tip jar says the left spent decades telling us hate speech is the thing. Is it any wonder that a large portion of the right who has been raised on that idea is more than willing to just extend it to cover their own speech in return? No, it's not there's no wonder to that at all, but they gotta step so lightly and get off of that train. I don't want that train to leave the station. We cannot be like the left and want to control people's thoughts ever. I dare I say it's un-American. Fuck that. Don't fall for it. This is censorship. Don't care what side you're on. Thankfully, there's no legal standing for the term hate speech. Right. Again, here, liberals and conservatives. This is great. Pam, what the fuck are you talking about? Liberals and conservatives agree. I hope that no, because some liberals. Well, no, here it is. Liberals are mad about this because now it's pointed at them. But I don't think we should be emulating them. Because they celebrate talking about hate speech. You know, all the some of the LGBTQ activists want laws that make it illegal to say anything bad about them. Some religions, some Christians want to make it illegal to say anything bad about them. Some Muslims want to make it illegal to say anything bad about them. Some far-right extremists want to make it illegal to say anything bad about them. Fuck all of you. That's not America. Ever. Ugh. Michael Schellenberger. Yeah, a lot of people are quoting Charlie Kirk on this, and thank God they are. Nonsense. Supreme Court unanimously reaffirms there is no hate speech exception to the First Amendment. That's from That's from 2017. Amazing MAGA Nation has gone so far right they've become woke leftists. I see a lot of pushback from the right too. Oh, I'm the libtard now. Yeah, Pam Bondi, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? So anyway, and that's why she's trending. Here's the topic. Bondi pledges DOJ crackdown on hate speech after Kirk assassination. Hell to the no. And in fact, let's see. Let me see. Here's Megyn Kelly. She's a lawyer. Megyn Kelly says hate speech is not prosecutable in America, which is good. Pam Bondi knows this. I'm guessing, given the statement by Stephen Miller yesterday about targeting violent cells, she means those who actually plan violence, which would not be about the speech, but the conspiracy. Well, I hope that's true. Because if someone's planning conspiracies to do more shit, yeah, you should prosecute them. That's not hate speech, though. That's incitement, that's planning, that's conspiracy, that's everything. But it's not about thought. It's about planned action, which planning violent action is illegal. But saying bad things about people, and even if you're saying, fuck Charlie Kirk, I don't care. And look, I told you my trepidation yesterday about people who have said bad things about Charlie Kirk who are losing their jobs for it. And look, I understand employers don't want shitbag people's working for them, and that's their prerogative in many states. It's right to work laws and shit like that. Hello, TC, by the way. But there's one, like, in particular that I've seen. Where is it? I'm going to see if I can find it. That really has me curious. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I'm pretty sure I will because everyone's talking about it. This woman right here. I'm curious about this. I probably should have had this in the links too. Here, let's do this. Karen Attia. Hang on a second. Let me come back to this. Because this one kind of has, I'll put it in the links too. So this woman named Karen Attia, who worked for the Washington Post, has been fired. Here she is right here. She says, where's her quote? Some news. I've been fired by the Washington Post. We'll put her separate tweet here too. Give me a second. There we go. I've been fired by the Washington Post, but my work will continue anyway. I'm proud of the work I've done at my 11 years at the Post. I believe that using the pen to remember the forgotten, question power, shine light in darkness, and defend democracy. I've never strayed from those values, whatever. Let's see. Okay, she's just talking about her resume, but let's go back to this. So some are saying that she was fired from the Washington Post for sharing a statement made by Charlie Kirk insulting black women, which it's out of context. It's not, he's insulting specific people, not just black women in general. But she claims here, she says, my posts were not even about Kirk directly, but about Americans' apathy towards political violence and the coddling of white male shooters and hate peddlers. Well, right. I was fired because I mentioned race, white men, and violence. That was my gross misconduct. Read for yourself. Here's the letter from the Washington Post to Karen Attia. Karen, I'm writing to inform you that the Post is terminating your employment effective immediately for gross misconduct. Your public comments on social media regarding the death of Charlie Kirk violate the Post's social media policies, harm the integrity of our organization, and potentially endanger the physical safety of our staff. Among other requirements, the company-wide social media policy mandates that all employees' social media postings be respectful and prohibit postings that disparage people based on their race, gender, or other protected characteristics. Are white men included on that? Interesting. The Washington Post. Remember, the Washington Post is very left-wing newspaper. The policy also reminds employees that everything they post is a reflection of the company and should not affect the integrity of the Post journalism. Your postings on Blue Sky, which clearly identify you as a Post columnist. Oh! about white men in response to the killing of Charlie Kirk do not comply with our policy. For example, you posted, quote, refusing to tear my clothes and smear ashes on my face in the performative mourning for a white man that espoused violence is not the same as violence. And, quote, part of what keeps America so violent is the insistence that people perform care, empty goodness, and absolution for white men who espouse hatred and violence. Oh, so everyone's acting like she's so innocent. They're saying that she got fired for quoting Charlie Kirk, but they mentioned the post that she was mentioned. Now, do I think she should have been fired for it? Nope. Nope. I think the Washington Post should have ate it and owned it. In addition, just last year, Opinions leadership asked everyone in the Opinions department to review the newsroom's social media guidelines, attached those guidelines to an email to the department for review, and reiterated that email, the bedrock principle that our use of social media must never harm the journalistic integrity or reputation of the Post. The poor judgment exhibited by your public comments regarding Charlie Kirk's arise against the backdrop of documented performance concerns which have been raised with you. Given these concerns and in the light of your recent unacceptable blue sky posts, we cannot tolerate the risk your performance poses to the Post. And then they continue. Please remove any reference to your affiliation with the Washington Post on any public-facing profiles immediately. You will receive a separate letter from the Post Benefits Department concerning your eligibility for any other Post benefits upon termination, blah, blah, blah. Signed, Wayne Caudell, Chief HR Officer of the Washington Post. So it's a question of whether or not she violated their policy. And someone puts, the irony that Karen Attiah is fired right before Robert Redford passes away should be lost on no one. Well, why? Because he played a character in a movie? What the fuck does that have anything to do with it? When journalists tell the truth and their employers lie, we have Watergate-level crisis on our hands. What did they lie about? They just said basically they fired her for a post. Whatever. I'm not sure why she did that. Thank you, Avocados Diablo. Sponsor the show again. You are awesome. Avocados Diablo, another small bullet in the tip jar. 223 says, leave the meeting out of karma for the Dokabi, I say. That is their job. I don't know what the Dokabi is, but yes, of course. That's 100% correct because you are often 100% correct. Say it with me. Actions have consequences. Let's see. Someone here says, someone named Wanda Gilbert says, I know exactly what the hell you sick demonic ass said. It is right here. It's in the, again. Okay. So their policy is, did she use race to demean somebody? And so this is what she said, refusing to tear my clothes and smear ashes on my face in performative mourning for a white man that espoused violence is not the same as violence. And the other one, part of what keeps America so violent is the insistence that people perform care, empty goodness, and absolution for white men who espouse hatred and violence. Does that sound like it's against their policy? Well, they thought it was. The problem is too that she didn't treat it as her personal social media account, but she put the Washington Post name on it. And maybe that's part of the problem. I don't know. But it's fascinating that a liberal rag like the Washington Post would have fired her for that. And the last thing I'm going to talk about today is Marco Rubio, who's also trending. Why is this not going? There we go. Apparently, Rubio has ordered visa revocation for foreigners celebrating the Kirk assassination. This can be appropriate, to be honest with you. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced on September 16th that the U.S. will revoke visas and deport foreign nationals publicly celebrating the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, who was killed on September 10th in Arizona by a lone gunman. Arizona, it was in Utah. Grok is not the most accurate aggregator, or, whatever. By a lone gunman with apparent political motives. The policy, justified as a safeguard for American values against glorification of violence, relies on social media monitoring and follows Rubio's earlier revocations targeting student protesters and Chinese students over security issues. Legal experts confirm immigration law allows such actions for threats to public safety amid ongoing investigation into Kirk's death and his upcoming funeral. So, interesting. And then someone says, then they got a quote here's Rubio himself.
We are not in the business of inviting people to visit our country.
Keep playing. What the hell happened there?
Who are going to be involved in negative and destructive behavior. Okay? So.
Holy shit. He needs to clarify that a little more. Hello, Judafine. What's up? Welcome back. He needs to clarify that. I mean, it can't. Negative and destructive behavior is so fucking subjective. Now, if there's someone out there saying Charlie Kirk deserved to be shot in the throat and killed, or whatever, it says they should do more, then you got to be concerned. I'm really struggling. People on visas also have First Amendment rights to our Constitution. It's not just for, that you're on a slippery, well, I hate saying slippery slope, but it's a slippery slope. And it's so subjective. If there's specific things, no, they don't. Oh, sure they do. But visas are conditional. That is correct also. So, right. So they can't be the one dude from Colombia that they, we're doing the whole Palestinian thing and he's organizing protests and stuff like that. That's a perfectly valid reason to revoke his visa. Okay. Saying I hated Charlie Kirk, not necessarily valid reason to revoke a visa. But if he says Charlie Kirk should have died and more people like him should be murdered, then yes, that's a good reason to revoke a visa. It's they got to be careful. I'm just saying.
Why should if we invite someone to visit the United States of America as a student, I agree
with Rubio on this point. I'm just saying you got to be careful.
Then they have the standard they should be held to is very high. We shouldn't be.
Ding. The standard they should be held to is high. So they got to, but again, got to be
bringing people into this country. We should not be giving visas to people who are going to come to the United States and do things like celebrate the murder, the execution, the assassination of a political figure. We should not. And if they're
that's
already
true.
here, they should be revoking their visa. We are not in the business.
All right. That at least clarifies what he said. I didn't listen to what he said, so I'm not. Visa verifications are underway. If you are here on a visa and cheering on the public assassination of a political figure, prepare to be deported. You are not welcome in this country. Hard to argue against that. All right. So in the articles today that I haven't gotten to, it's all Charlie Kirk today. FBI investigating social media accounts that appeared to indicate foreknowledge of Kirk's assassination. Federal Bureau of Investigation is investigating social media posts by at least 7 different accounts that appeared to indicate foreknowledge of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, according to 3 people familiar with the investigation, and screenshots obtained by the Washington Free Beacon. The post, one of which referenced the date of Kirk's assassination, September 10th, more than a month before it took place, were all deleted in the days following the killing. Several of the accounts appear to belong to transgender individuals, and at least one of them followed suspect Tyler Robinson's roommate, with whom Robinson has allegedly a relationship on TikTok. That's a poorly functioned sentence. Robin was in a relationship the person followed that person on TikTok, but the way they wrote it made it sound like the person with the relationship was on TikTok. No. But anyway, the FBI received archived copies of the post, according to a person who flagged them for the agency. Screenshots of the post had been circulating online and had not been previously authenticated. While the posts do not establish that any of the individuals knew or conspired with Robinson, the 22-year-old gunman who allegedly shot Kirk, several of them mentioned the conservative activist by name and fantasized about his death. So here's one. Donald Trump, December 14th. It'd be funny if someone like Charlie Kirk got shot on September 10th. I plead the fifth. September 10th will be a very interesting day. I saw that one a while ago. Anyway, several of these accounts had posts like that. And then here, we fucking did it. Charlie Kirk has died at the age of 31 after being shot, Trump announces. Some of the accounts under investigation appear to be associated with LGBT subcultures. Look, not all LGBT, just a small faction of T's in this one. One individual, Osamu bin Tezuka, used the X handle Fojo Shinsel, a reference to the genre of anime that depicts romantic relationships between men. Okay, whatever. So anyway, that's one of the headlines exclusive to the Washington Free Beacon. Daily Wire, suspect's DNA is attached to the weapon. Okay. They're just dotting their I's and crossing their T's. Breitbart, mourners around the world show love for Charlie Kirk. Yeah, this is worldwide. There's a lot of people who like Charlie Kirk around the world, and in a lot of different countries. Vigils were held around the world for slain free speech advocate and Turning Point USA co-founder Charlie Kirk, offering poignant demonstrations that the power of his ideas reached far beyond America's borders and that good people around the world can unite in mourning for a young husband and father. Here's one in Spain. In Madrid, the vigil for Charlie Kirk began within hours of his murder and grew steadily on Tuesday. The rally outside the U.S. Embassy, where participants chanted Kirk's name and then observed a moment of silence in his memory. And they're just going and showing lots of different places where they had rallies for him in South Korea and United Kingdom, Sydney, Australia. There are a lot of them, so pretty cool. You can check that out. Also in Breitbart, now, I'm not sure about this one. West Hollywood, which banned Trump from speaker, lowers rainbow flags to half staff for Charlie Kirk? Really? The city of West Hollywood, California, a haven for the LGBTQ community, lowered its rainbow flags at half staff in memory of conservative activist Charlie Kirk 9 years after it banned Trump from speaking. Okay, wait a minute. An open letter to 87 other mayors in Los Angeles County and in an op-ed for The Advocate, West Hollywood Mayor Lindsay Horvath wrote that the Republican presidential frontrunner would be barred from making campaign appearances. Okay, that's back from when they banned Trump. Here we go. Remarkably, West Hollywood has taken a different approach with Charlie Kirk, who was critical of the LGBTQ plus movement, though the city has also taken criticism. As Pink News reported, the city of West Hollywood has responded to a backlash over the decision to lower the LGBTQ pride flags at half-mast in a tribute to right-wing pundit Charlie Kirk, who was shot dead in Utah last week. Among those lowered to what Americans call half-staff, 2 were LGBTQ plus pride flags outside the VCA TLC Animal Hospital on Santa Monica Boulevard. So this is a specific business. A spokesman said the action was undertaken in accordance with the city's policy for recognition of memorials, which acknowledges that the city follows the direction of the president in determining when flags in the city are flown at half staff. So they're mad that the LGBTQ flags were included in that celebration of Charlie's life. Kirk also defended LGBTQ conservatives against extremists who said they could not be in the movement. So yeah, he did. I mean, he had a record of that. People forget that. Oh, he's hateful. But he also... all the people he is supposed to hate, he seemed to embrace at various times. All right, let me see here. Federalist, GLAAD smears Charlie Kirk, puts a target on the back of other conservative activists. A GLAAD spokesman smeared conservative Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated Wednesday while speaking at Utah Valley University, as someone who spreads infinite amount of disinformation about LGBTQ people. What misinformation? His opinion? GFY. And then let's see. I want you to read this. This is Chloe Cole. GLAAD put out, so, I want you to read the statement that GLAAD put out so you all understand that it isn't just a fringe group on the left that is justifying the murder of Charlie Kirk. This is a multi-million-dollar institution that accused Charlie of spreading lies and vitriol. Let me see the rest of the post here. Vitriol through Riley Gaines, Pastor Junsun Yu, and I. Naming 3 of us in this statement is putting a target on our backs, and it normalizes the violence that took place in Utah. They do not care if we die because they think we are Nazis. This is the reality of a large amount of the Democratic Party in America. Chloe Cole is the former once transitioned, as in Dee's transition, has been out speaking in speaking engagements about her ordeal of being medicalized at a young age. GLAAD stressed the extent to which Kirk and Turning Point promoted anti-LGBTQ narratives. The group highlighted Turning Point's college campus campaigns featuring speakers such as Riley Gaines, Chloe Cole, and Pastor Junsun Yu, who regularly spoke against transgender people. No, against transgender ideology and transitioning of kids, which should not happen. And should not supersede the rights of natal women and men, for that matter. So anyway, that's that. Daily Caller, left-wing protesters disrupt Charlie Kirk visit with a song engraved on the alleged assassin's bullet. These assholes. So that means nothing to me. Yeah, some dickhead was being a dickhead at a protest because they're a dickhead. News at 11. Ilmar Omar reacts to Charlie Kirk's murder with her characteristic graciousness. What did she say? Where's the quote? Scrolling through here, appeared and blah, blah, blah. She said, started out well. It was really mortifying to hear the news. All I could think about was his wife, his children. That image is going to live forever. She even went so far to say that her heart breaks for Kirk's children. But then she continued with a but. But what I do know for sure is that Charlie Kirk was someone who once said guns saved lives after a school shooting. Charlie was someone who was willing to debate and downplay the death of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis police, downplay slavery and what black people have gone through in this country by saying Juneteenth should never exist. Then she noted that a lot of people who are out there talking about Kirk just wanting to have civil debates, whereupon Hassan erupted and claimed that this was a complete rewriting of history. No, never mind. Fuck these people. You can read it yourself. Texas Senate candidate Colin Allred holds voter registration drive at a Dallas church as a pastor attacks Charlie Kirk. That's in the Washington Free Beacon. Breitbart. Virginia Imam said the world's a better place without Charlie Kirk, who died disrespecting black people. Well, isn't he special? And it's funny because if you go through a lot of these clips, or actually not just clips of Charlie Kirk, because the clips often are manipulated to make it either sound the worst it possibly could or the best it possibly could. Let's not say that everything he said was great and everything was things were terrible, but whenever you see those clips, you got to go and see the entire discussion to really understand what it's about. And my personal opinion, there's other articles, but I'm not going to go through them all. My personal opinion, after spending more time actually listening to a lot of Charlie Kirk's, full-on comments about things, is that he was a good guy that had compassion for a lot of people he disagreed with. Yeah, he didn't like the word empathy because he preferred the words compassion and sympathy. Because that's one of the quotes going around. Oh, he said he hates empathy. Well, we're not going to give him any. The whole quote is, he doesn't like the word empathy. I can feel your pain. I prefer compassion and sympathy. No one ever seems to like to add that part. So anyway. All right. That, my friends, is it for today. Tomorrow's hump day. And we will hump on over there. Different name, different use of the term there, obviously, than you were expecting. And do the show again. So thanks for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. Here are the links from today. There's a bunch of them, plus the aggregator. There's a lot of stories in the aggregator. I didn't even look at the headlines yet. Here are today's, if I could type, links from the show in the chat, and they'll be in the description of this video / stream in a moment. So you all have a rant. I can't even talk. Y'all have a fantastic and blessed day. Gotta go. My name's P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Thanks for being here. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thanks for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the
Testing, 1, 2, 3. I don't know what's going on with this one. It's annoying me.
Doesn't it annoy everyone?
No. Well, when they first start out, yeah.
Oh yeah, when they first start out, that's gonna annoy them the most because they're not gonna know how to use it.
It is what it is, I know. Alright, let's try this. Can you hear me on this one? Oop. Can you hear me on this one?
Yep. I can hear it.
Okay. What I need. Try this one again. See if we can still hear. Because we do have some stuff to get to today. I love you too. I don't know what to talk about. You got love. Actually, hold up.
Oh no.
Okay.
So, as you all know, my birthday party was on Saturday.
Nah, get over here so they can see.
And Mom told me that I had to wait till I got home to open up one, and I completely forgot where I put it and found out it was in the back of the bag that I had all my stuff in. Because, daughter, your life is a work of art. Take that texture and depth because is of where you've been and what you've is to us
Alright, we are gonna try this, and hopefully it'll put the audio through. I don't know if it will or not, but we will find out.
Oh, your tablet's up all the way, just to let you know.
Whoa! Hello.
My legs are kind of weak right now.
I hear something.
I think that's from the tablet. Yep, it is. Uncle Josh said I may have to learn sign language because this no sound is ridiculous.
Call her big sister.
I know. At first she said, "Sorry, little sister," and then she fixed it, saying "little brother." Love you, bye.
I hear audio. Alright, let's do this. So, this is the person that was jumping around. Monko! Oh, she took off. Okay, I'm gonna wait a second. Are you happy? Are you happy? I did this. I was starting it and you walked out. Why did you land it?
Because anytime I put these on, it always cuts my thumb.
That means you got the thumb area too tight.
Nope.
Loosen it up.
Even when I loosen it up, it's because of how sharp the edges are.
You know what we need?
This is what I'm talking about. I don't have it on, but I have the bracelet part around my hand to stop these from tangling because they tend to get tangled a bit.
Okay, focus.
I am.
This is the gentleman that was apparently pumped. Well, not apparently, but he, right after Charlie Kirk was shot, he was up swinging his fist and acting like a fool. So we are going to hear what he has to say.
I'm scared.
Chatter is absolutely incredible. You know, all this chatter is absolutely incredible, but I'm actually really burnt. I'm honestly like the happiest person you have ever met in your entire life. I stood and shouted USA, not as a provocation, but to project strength, encourage others, and create a distraction that might help calm panic or even save lives. When I heard a sharp crack, at first I thought it might have been fireworks or a disruptive prank, so I looked up to the horizon for smoke. When none appeared, I realized it must have been a firearm. My friend reacted in horror, saying Charlie had been struck. His voice and description told me how serious it was. Based on his reaction, I believed Charlie had been gravely injured. I instinctively checked the security team's movement, though I have no affiliation with them. Realizing the situation was dangerous, I stood and shouted USA, not as a provocation, but to project strength, encourage others, and create a distraction that might help calm panic or even save lives. My friend was devastated. He admitted he admired Charlie deeply. I only knew Charlie through minimal content, but would never wish to celebrate harm to anyone.
his eyes are darting back and forth as he seems to be reading. Now, as content creator, if I want to make sure that my word comes across properly on certain subjects, I will actually type them out or write them down, so that way not only does it sound better to you guys, but my head doesn't do a jumble.
And so it sounds more professional.
Right. As you guys know, we are new to content creation, fairly new. And the way that we do it is we wing it. We do. For most of the stuff. But when it comes to certain things, yeah, I do like to use my own script that I have written in order to sound a lot more professional for you guys.
Uncle Josh said, I could finally hear y'all. It's not loud, but better than it was. And then he said his football coach for the Ohio Buckeyes kicked him off the team.
Okay. So what he is saying is he was trying to help create a distraction. Not
make it worse.
Right. And the thing that he said, he chanted USA. Now, I have known a few really left side people. One of the things they would not do is chant USA because they hate the USA. The United States of America. They absolutely hate it and everything it stands for. But yet when you tell them, hey, I will pay for your ticket to leave, well, no, I'm not leaving. So being that he said that, I'm going to continue listening and ignore the E-Times rhetoric. What about you? Let's get down to the truth of it.
And this is the cloud that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Me and Yonder are actually going to be...
You know, all this chatter is absolutely incredible, but I'm actually really burnt. I'm honestly like the happiest person you have ever met in your entire life. And I am absolutely sick of all of my soldiers, including Charlie, dying so you guys can mock each other. Mock away and see what happens. I am done with my soldiers dying while everyone just mocks each other. Mock, mock, mock. You think that that's a solution? You know every major religion speaks out against mockery. And I saw mockery. And I saw a mob just energized with mockery. Absolutely laughing. This is John Oliver. This is Matt Walsh. This is Louder with Crowder. This is all the mockery that's existed on both sides of the equation. And it's killing my soldiers, my people, and I'm done. I don't want to see my men die anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm sick. I didn't see Charlie die. I stood up. My soldiers stand up, I stand up. And I'm not apologizing for standing up. I did what I was trained to do.
So, he's speaking a lot like military. So let's do a little dig, shall we? I am going to disable the camera, or
I hear a siren.
I'm going to disable the window view just for a moment.
The camera really so they can't see my face?
No, they can see your beautiful face.
I am not beautiful.
Oh, by far you are.
No.
Yes, you are.
No.
Okay. So the reason why I have to do it this way is because I need to make sure a few things are safe. So we're going to go over to X. Oh.
What's up? Oh.
Okay, we will show that part too. Oh. Please let this not be real. I mean, please let it not be real. That's all I can say on that one. I'm gonna share it out to Dark Knight.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great.
I did not mean for the sound to come through like that. I'm so sorry.
So what happened?
I will show it. But after I'm done, when David's up. I don't give a shit that the team failed.
Welcome in, Cody.
Hey, Cody, welcome in. I want his.
I'm honestly like the happy.
I don't want the sound to go through. I'm trying to go into and get the original video because I want to do a little digging with you guys. And yeah, some things are coming to light that
So, and it's got an octagon. Let's play.
I'm trying to. What they're saying about the shooter, first of all, he was wearing the wrong color pants, according to the videos I've seen. But in some videos, he's limping, like it's showing him having a hard time bending his knee. And they're saying that he had a 22, but yet other reports that I'm digging more into said the bullet was a 30-06. 22 bullet is big. 30-06. I am. I'm just worried. No. I'm sickened.
Oh, you are sick right now, though.
Wrong kind of sick.
I know I'm trying to get you.
there's me, a person,
who's not cheering?
Instead of finding out facts, she decided she was going to spread propaganda, so I'm not even going to show her stuff. If anything, I'll block her. And again, I'm trying not to have the audio go through until it's something that I really want you guys to see. I originally had this set up beforehand, but unfortunately I was an airhead and used the wrong Windows. I did the public one instead, or the private one instead of the public one. Can't be seen. I have not seen the shooting itself. I have seen a couple videos of people claiming they know what happened. Okay, so this Jack of Diamonds, he says this was an amateur. He was aiming for Charlie's head on a store-bought sighted rifle. And point of impact was low right and hit Charlie in the carotid. Because the shooter jerked the trigger in anticipation of the recoil. Now, as we've learned more about the one they're saying is the shooter, he was an avid hunter with his family. He, until recent, was a Trump supporter. Until he started dating a person with a mental illness. One thing Charlie said that comes to my mind wholeheartedly, and he's not wrong.
Hold up.
Is that, oh, hold on.
Noise. Ambulance going towards, gas station.
But the thing that he said that got me wholeheartedly, those people have a mental illness that needs to be taken care of. They need to be helped, not hated. They need to be loved unconditionally. To remind them to turn away from their sin. In John 8:7, when the Pharisees brought a prostitute to Jesus and said, "She's a sinner. What should you do with her? What should we do with her?" And Jesus said, "He is without stone, he that is without sin, cast the first stone." Knowing dang well that Jesus himself was without sin, and he could have. Instead, he looked at her with love in his heart and said, "Go on and turn away from your sin. Sin no more." So it's not that Charlie was a hypocrite, because he wasn't. He was Jesus. More than any of us.
Honestly, he was the most kind-hearted person that I know. No offense, Mom.
None taken. You are right. I have always said I want to be Jesus-like.
Well, we know someone who was before the shooting.
Jesus.
No. Well, obviously him, yes. But I think Charlie Kirk in the United States, 'cause I don't know about the people in the rest of the world, but in the whole United States, I think he was the most Jesus-like.
Yeah, Charlie was.
People hold on.
Do you want to know what his biggest wish was?
What's that?
When he was asked, and actually I will show this video. Because it is what he said. And it is so true. There's a video he did. Podcast actually. I'm trying to find it real quick. Normally I could find it no problem, but I don't think she's heard this one yet. I have, but I've watched it.
Hold up.
Oh, I'm sorry, this was not it.
Well, can you just pick up that? Yonder! Can you turn that down a little bit? It's loud. It's fine, I'm just trying to be nice. There. See, I was even nice about it. Someone else.
If everything completely goes away, how do you want to be remembered?
I mean, if I die?
Everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. Most important thing is my faith in my life.
Christ is not just grace-focused, he's simultaneously truth-focused. He goes up to the woman who had a career in selling herself for sex and said, sin no more. Now, imagine today how much trouble you would get in if you would go up to somebody and say, stop sinning. Oh, you're being too judgmental. No, you're actually being Christ-like.
One of the reasons we're living through a constitutional crisis is that we no longer have a Christian nation, but we have a Christian form of government, and they're incompatible. So you cannot have liberty if you do not have a Christian population.
I have 30 seconds left to live. I'm dying from a gunshot wound. But what would you actually want to tell me if I have 30 seconds left to live?
Boy, you got 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, you're about to meet eternal judgment. And there's only one way that you can get bailed out of that. And it's not all the good things you did or the moral scorecard. It's whether or not you have Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. And that's the only thing that's going to matter. And so you got 10 seconds left, you're dying from a gunshot wound, and you ask the question, who is Jesus Christ? And the answer to that singular question, who is Jesus Christ, is the most important question for everyone in the audience. Not how much money you have, not how much good stuff you do, it is who is Jesus Christ? You might say, oh, Jesus was, a teller of good tales, or Jesus was a good person, or Jesus was a historical figure. None of that's going to cut it. It's whether or not you repent and you ask Christ to come in as your Lord and Savior. That's the only thing that will save you from eternal damnation. Thank you.
So guys, we got that right there. That is who Charlie Kirk was. Not the propaganda that they claim that he was. I was talking to my husband. And you know how Monko and I do Ryze Shine for you guys, right? And you guys have heard us say prayer on here, and I try to stay focused. Well, not just focused, but Christ-like. Like, I've had people ask me, what do I feel about the Palestine and the Israel war? My exact answer was, God's got it. That is not my place to judge. Because when it all comes down, he is going to have his hand in it. So, I feel for both sides equally, and I love with all my heart anybody that truly knows me knows that it doesn't matter if I've known you my whole life or if I've just met you. If you are my people, if you are with me, with my family, even those that I see walking down the street, or my neighbors, or people I've seen in church. Oh, excuse me, correction, people I've seen in the physical building called a church. Matthew 18:20. Matthew 18:20. Where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there too I shall be. So this is a church.
Actually, to be fair, it says where 2 or more.
No, it says where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there too I shall be. And I have told you guys about John 3:16. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son. Whomever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
And my mom used to quiz us with it.
Yes, I did.
When we were homeschooled and stuff like that. And whoever, what I loved about when I was homeschooled before, when we lived up in the UP, whoever got the answer correct got a Jolly Rancher. Because my dad had a big Ziploc bag full of candies and Jolly Ranchers. There was a separate one for Jolly Ranchers, and then there was one with a bunch of mixed candies, because my dad loves Jolly Ranchers. So he's always got bags full of them, and he's always kept a lot.
So,
Nah, not at all. Anyway.
I was talking to my husband the other day, and I told him that I wanted to be more like Charlie Kirk on this earth, one that everybody knows and everybody has seen. I want to be like him. But ultimately, I want to be like Jesus. Everybody that I have ever came in contact with, they've had their different opinions, and some of them have not been exactly nice. But those are the ones I refuse to actually get to know. Or to know my babies, my family, my husband, and they listen to bullcrap lies. So they lost out on an amazing opportunity. That's on them. The only thing I can say is I want each and every one of you to pray for them. To pray that they heal their broken heart, their broken soul. That way they may be whole, because it's obvious that they're missing something in their life. I am so blessed with my beautiful babies and my amazing husband. Do we have our ups and downs? Yes, every true relationship
Definitely.
does. Would I trade them? Do I want to see all of them be able to go to heaven? Yes, I do, and I will fight tooth and nail. I want each one of you to look in your heart whenever you do anything, and say, what would Jesus do? It has helped.
WWJD.
It has helped me a lot through my life. It has helped me let go of so much hurt. And the Lord actually showed me something the other day after Charlie passed. You can't be saved if you have resentment and anger in your heart.
Breathe and smile.
I had resentment in my heart that I didn't realize I had. Not resentment. No, not resentment. I had anger in my heart. And I had hatred in my heart that I did not realize I was holding on to. You know, I was reading my Bible and I was talking to God, as I do at night, and a memory flashed through when I was little. Really little. And I felt that anger. And I realized that was God telling me, hey, I need to work on this. I need to do better. So I started praying for him to help heal my heart and help me let go of the anger and the hurt. Most people that have mental illness have been hurt in their life. Those that are wanting to transition or are not comfortable in their own body, it's because they were violated and they were hurt. And instead of getting the help to work through it, they had to bury it. I almost had to bury it. I did. I was very fortunate to have an amazing husband come along.
Who's also my dad.
Yep. He's an amazing man. They're my children's dad.
Even though we may get into a bit of trouble and arguments and stuff like that, we still love him dearly.
Yeah, they try pushing the boundaries sometimes.
We try seeing how far we can go with our stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff we cannot get very far with.
No, you cannot.
Yeah, at least I'm being honest.
Yes, you are. I love each and every one of you dearly. I don't put up with games. Those of you that have been with me, you've seen that.
Like Uncle Josh.
No.
Yes.
No, not Uncle Josh.
Remember when he called me the B word?
Yeah. I've had people come in my life trying to dictate what should be done. I do not tolerate that at all. Excuse you. Oh. I don't tolerate it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I can see my comments.
I'm still able to see them. Oh, did you not see right there?
Do you have it on top of it all?
Oh.
Okay. Yes, I pray with each and every one of you that ask for prayer, that ask for help. And that's because God tells me to. No. God has installed in me the ability to speak to Him and to help you, as He has done with each and every one of us that are willing to shut our mouths, open our ears, open our heart, and listen. I know.
Like me.
I know. It seems like almost impossible.
And yes, I actually know how to be quiet when I want to be.
Yeah. Sometimes.
How rude.
Yeah, we pick. But we don't hold it in our hearts. We know to let it go.
And we have fun with it.
Yeah. But I don't downgrade, nor do I allow it in my home. If I hear it at all, I get mad. Seriously
yeah,
mad.
she does.
And I am not one to hold back my voice when I am mad.
No, she is not.
So let's see a little bit more of what was said about.
Oh, it's warm out here.
And
I'm about to.
This one kind of broke me. I couldn't believe it was said, but right here you go.
Oh,
Looking at her, my first impression would be that she seems like a kind, compassionate, loving young lady. It turns out, though, that she's a nurse at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta who said, F Charlie Kirk's kids, F his ancestors, especially the bitch who birthed him. And she has been fired. As a parent, hearing the statement, F that person's kids after they were violently murdered, showing absolutely no compassion for the children at all whatsoever, that's not somebody that I would want in charge of my kids' health care. So I'm glad that she's in the unemployment line, but what do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments. Looking at
what the fudge?
You know, I wouldn't be that cool. If I ever was, Mama will whoop me a new one.
That's one thing I don't like. It'll start on its own.
Are you actually going to let me talk for longer than 5 seconds?
Go ahead.
You keep interrupting me. Every time I actually try to... Every time I try to actually explain my point and have a reasonable conversation with you, you cut me off. I was trying to explain, you cut me off, started talking about something completely different. You started bringing up random stats and random facts to try to make me look stupid. People like you, you want people.
Thank you. Thank you. Men, stay away from women like that. Stay away from women like that.
Are you actually gonna?
No. He was giving her the option, or the chance to talk. And she wanted to try to belittle and downgrade Charlie. Yeah, that's a massive red flag. This one I have not seen. Benny Johnson, I like some of his stuff not so much. But that being said, anybody that wants to murder or unalive or harm someone because of their point of view or their speech, you need to get yourself checked because you are mentally unstable and you need help.
President Trump, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino have just made massive breaking updates to the political assassination of Charlie Kirk and the vengeance that must be sought by the federal government in the collusion and coordination of this attack on our republic. That is exactly what it is. This is political terrorism, and it cannot be allowed in our nation. We spoke with the FBI yesterday, and the FBI told us this is not a closed case. There are co-conspirators, and there is an enormous amount of evidence that has been seized, both digital and physical. We will know the truth. We have everything. We are focused on the radicalization element. The truth will not be hidden, buried, or classified. The public will know. Ladies and gentlemen, what we found out over the weekend was that Tyler Robinson was a very hard left-wing radical. He always has been a far left-wing radical. He lived with his transgender boyfriend. His transgender boyfriend has turned over everything, allegedly, to the FBI, and those electronics are making the case that this was part of the transgender spate, scourge of violence that we have seen in our nation. That is why the FBI is probing left-wing groups throughout Utah. Some of those left-wing groups, in fact, have bullets in their bios that have engravings, you will recall. Here's the Armed Queers of Salt Lake City. They nuked their social media. You will notice that their logo has engraved bullets, much like the bullets that struck Charlie Kirk were engraved with Antifa and LGBT and furry and
not only that, but the shooting in Minnesota a few weeks ago had the same engravings on the bullets. If that makes sense.
left-wing iconography. Also, there seemed to be a contingency of transgender activists who had foreknowledge about Charlie Kirk's soon-to-be political assassination. Yo, guys, I have something very big coming tomorrow. Be sure you check the news. You'll know when you see it. This is, of course, leading to some investigators saying that there's GPS data showing that there are dozens of potential co-conspirators, along with reports of dozens of out-of-state vehicles visiting Tyler Robinson in his home, mysteriously coming and going, ladies and gentlemen, the home that he shared with his transgender boyfriend.
Okay, now on that. This is the video that I was saying. I hope it's not true, but
sorry for my language. Uncle Josh said karma is a witch capital B.
yes, karma is a bitch. Okay. So this video here. This is right before Charlie died. Like seconds before.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Now you've seen that, right?
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Do I need to play it again?
I don't even understand. Like, and I
Think of baseball. What does the catcher say to the pitcher? Or the umpire say to the pitcher? They use hand signals, right? Like telling them how to throw a ball.
Yeah, I see that.
Now watch. These two people. The first one.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
And which way to go? That's literally.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Right there was a shot.
Do you know how many?
Alright. Again, I have not seen the actual shooting yet. I have not been able to bring myself to it. Very much that one. Bear with me.
We're entering a different era. Be careful that you don't conduct yourself in such a way that would diminish the legacy that Charlie Kirk left behind. Because his wife and children are watching. But by the same token, do not be lulled into a false sense of security that we can continue on as we have before.
No, we cannot.
Something has changed.
A lot has changed.
It is now our responsibility to make sure that as we fight evil, we also provide a vision of what could be, what is true, and what is noble, and what is just, and what is loving. Thank you, Charlie. As I said before, your fight's over, but ours is just beginning. We're entering a different era.
Charlie gave up his life. Not that he wanted to go yet. He still had a lot of plans. But he was not afraid to go. He would rather the world know that he loved and feared God more than this world. Than anyone could even imagine. Monko, I have a question for you. What is your opinion on the assassination of Charlie Kirk?
I think whoever did it, like, if the government planned this, the people who planned it need to be shut down and put in prison. And possibly even till death. Because he should not have to go through, he should not have had to go through that because people didn't like him.
I have a question for you about the shooter.
Okay.
Remembering who God is, remembering who Jesus is, and what Jesus stood for.
Mm-hmm.
I want you, when you answer this, I want you to think, what would Jesus do? Okay?
WWJD.
What do you think should happen to the shooter? You may want to actually think.
I am. I think that's while doing art. You know that. I think that if Jesus were here and if God could come down from the heavenly heavens above, God should deal with him.
Do you feel God should deal with them?
Yes.
I agree.
So
Wholeheartedly.
So then he could feel the wrath of what happens when you mess with one of God's beloved children.
But again, what comes into mind? John 8:7.
Don't remember that one.
He who is without sin cast the first stone. Now, do you know anybody besides Jesus who is without sin?
Jesus and God.
Smart aleck. Because I can tell you I don't. I'm a sinner.
Obviously I am. I'm a troublemaker as well.
My husband's a sinner. All my children are sinners. You're a sinner. But it is what you do with that knowledge that helps you. What's the prayer? Monko.
I just say.
This one you gotta put that down. Are you ready? Heavenly Father.
Heavenly Father.
Please help me to know my sin.
Please help me to know my sin.
And turn away from it.
And turn away from it.
You are a loving and just Father.
You are a loving and just Father.
You help us in more ways than we know.
You help us in more ways than we know.
Help heal our hearts, our minds, our bodies, and souls.
Help heal our hearts, our minds, our bodies, and our souls.
From all that is evil.
From all that is evil.
May you shine brightly throughout us.
May you shine brightly throughout us.
And help those along the way.
And help those along the way.
Help us to be a seed for each and every individual.
Help us to be a seed for each and every individual.
To help them grow closer to you.
To help them grow closer to you.
Father, I know I have sinned.
Father, I know I have sinned.
I have lied. I have stole.
I have lied. I have stole.
I have committed sins without knowledge.
I have committed sins without knowledge.
And I lay them at your feet.
And I lay them at your feet.
I ask that you forgive us.
I ask that you forgive us.
Of all of our sins.
All of our sins.
For the blood of Jesus Christ.
For the blood of Jesus Christ.
Over each and every individual.
Over each and every individual.
And help us to become closer to you.
And help us to be able to become closer to you.
In Jesus' holy name we pray.
In Jesus'
holy name.
Amen.
Amen. And on that note, guys and gals, it is lunchtime. So
I'm gonna have some of the leftovers that I made the other night.
It was really good. Thank you guys for joining us.
Hold up! I gotta show them a picture of how it turned out.
You do?
Yes, because I did take a picture.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Before or after it was cut?
Before and after.
Okay, let's see.
Sorry, I have a really long password. Yeah, that's my new background.
I need to edit it.
It's a picture of Sarge, Loki, and Nun.
Yep.
If my tablet actually wants to work with me, thank you. Okay, so apparently it was after it was cut, but it's still all together.
Okay.
That one. So, let me turn up the brightness.
I can't think.
Okay.
So that's how it looked after the fact.
You want to shut off the light so it makes it a little bit easier? Okay. And that doesn't really make it much easier. There.
Leave it there. There you go. Looks almost like a pizza. It does.
Yeah.
Do I eat pizza?
No.
Did I eat that?
Yeah.
More than once.
Yeah, she snatched some leftovers. Then again, that part was for her anyway, so.
So, thank you guys for joining us. We hope you like what you see. Don't forget, if you do like what you see, to subscribe, click that little bell, and smash the like button. And always remember, no matter what life throws at you, no matter what crazy curveball
or
foul is thrown your way.
Oh, thrown your way? Okay.
At the end of it.
At the end of